Well, let's get down to business, everybody. It's an off season. We have Crash Andrews on autopilot for the moment. So we will, honestly, whenever he's on autopilot, legitimately, I can just go to team selection and unselect the Nashville Stars. And truly, Nashville will be on autopilot. So that'll be fun. But we were in the middle of an off season. We'll get through at least a season tonight. Maybe not a ton of work to get to. I do want to get a fair amount of old FC Pro clubs, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. As I mentioned, I am a tired boy. After a long day of wedding preparation. So, we'll get to where we gotta go. I need to keep Ramsey and Mullins. Good to know. Good to know. Can't wait for Nashville to trade their first round pick again. That would be pretty bad luck now, wouldn't it? Let's see what makes sense for you guys to do here. When's NHL out? October 3rd. I might have it earlier than that. We shall see. Did I see the Angel Hernandez thing with Bryce Harper? I did. I can't be outraged about it, though. Baseball is just like, yep, no, it's fine. Don't worry about it. So I won't worry about it. They say he's fine at his job. I vehemently disagree, but they're not going to change anything. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Forward, you guys have Swift, who you obviously want to keep. You have Griffith, who you probably want to keep as well. Cannon, Robertson, Peyton at center. You probably could let go of Alan Peyton. But honestly, if he's not that expensive, it's probably worth keeping him. It is worth keeping every single one of your players. There we go. We'll move, we'll march. We'll march, we'll move. Qualifying offers, Bishop Bledsoe. We'll go Donnell Wright. Do I need Mac Jeffries? I do ideally need Mac Jeffries. Sweet. So, free agency. 34-year-old Victor Wembanyama, the real-life first overall pick this year, has been a pro for 15 years. I could bring him in. Chat can afford about a $45 million deal. So Chat's looking at pretty much anybody aside from Scoot Henderson or Victor Wembanyama. Let's take a look at your roster and see if you even need anything. You might not. Your Cummings in the RFA point guard, right? Yeah, you got Bishop as an RFA point guard. You could hold off on signing him, though, because he wants $27 million. You might as well see if someone brings in him or Bledsoe for that much money. So, what the hell can you guys even do? You don't need a shooting guard. You don't need a forward. You don't need a power forward because you got two guys in the system. You guys really don't need anything. Like, you have the money to spend, but just because you have the money to spend doesn't mean you should spend it. Like, at best, it would be paying... I mean, number one, you don't want to pay CJ Levens that at all. You're not going to want to pay your RFAs either. They're looking for way too much money for their ratings. You'll be better off waiting to see if they get an offer from someone else or trying to wait them out. Because just flat out, those guys want too big of contracts at this stage. So there is that. There is that. So you bet on Jared Goff to do well for you. That's your mistake. But yeah, a lot of guys here aren't worth the money. Like CJ Levens is good, but is he worth $57 million right now? No. Like, it's all just younger dudes who might be decent, but not really. Like there's Levens. West is a 77 overall and wants 48 million. Like all these young dudes who are completely unproven want a shitload of money. And chat, you and I are going to be the smart ones who aren't going to take the bait. I mean, you could go for a Wembanyama or a Scoot Henderson to just make the team better. But you have a great shooting guard already in Desmond Moore, and he's already expensive as shit. And you have a good young center in Daryl Patrick. So, I mean, if you felt like Wembanyama could push your team over the edge to win a title, then it's worth going for him. But that would be the only reason. Caps and contract. Yeah, honestly, that's the biggest issue with this era is the cap structure got totally fucked up. Totally fucked up. So I got to be honest, I think for both of us, best course of action is to just wait it out. It's not to sign a 34-year-old to $76 million. I can tell you that much. So I think we're both in the same deal. Let's see what we can do from here in regards to other contracts. Donnell Wright can go. That's fine for you guys. Renounce Johansson. You have a cap hold on Bledsoe and Bishop, who are both RFAs. They'll be 1-year deals, basically. And that way, at the end of next season, you'll be able to tell, like, okay, are they worth signing long term? So right now, it's just worth waiting them out. We could bump up the quality even further beyond the 60. I wouldn't be against it. I wouldn't be against it. We have started to see better players. So Robert Bledsoe, case in point, guys, that's just not worth it. That is just not worth it. Yikes. Holy hell. That is a $33 million a season contract for someone who's showing up as a 79 right now. So, yeah, you guys will be letting go of Robert Bledsoe, and rightfully so, because that's insane. So, shout out to Washington, who decides to pay him the sun and the moon. And Bryce Bishop gets not nearly as much money. It's $23 million a year for Bryce Bishop. You do have another younger point guard who's better in Dell Cummings. You might as well just give Dell the key to the city here and just have him be the guy. It'll hurt your point guard depth, but he's your guy at this stage. 22 and an 84 versus 24 and an 80. It's a non-discussion to let go of Bryce Bishop as well. It's an absolute non-discussion. It just doesn't make sense. It would have made sense to keep him if nobody tried to offer sheet him. But they did. So, again, those are mistakes that we kind of both fell into previously. Was, oh shit, we got to hold on to our guys. Not realizing that the entire league around us has been completely and totally fucked up. I'm not saying it's ruined the era, but it's close. And you know what? For shits and gigs. Oh, where is the... I don't remember where the setting is. It's got to be under general, right? Or do you think it'd be tuner slider? It's got to be under general. Draft class quality 69. There we go. Enjoy the memes. For me, the only bit of improvement was from Lamond Ramsey, and it was by 1 point. For you, Jesus Christ. For chat's team, Swift, Cummings, Robertson, Patrick, Webster, Washington, Barber, Leonard up by 2. That's a lot of fucking green. Good God. Maybe you should have signed Wembanyama to go with those big 3, though. Jesus. So what's ruined the cap structure? Not enough stars there for shittier players are getting overpaid. Correct. Did I see Barber's potential go up? It's still a B-. Still a B-. Not bad, but nothing crazy. So, but yeah, that has been the issue with the salary cap structure for sure. It's just been brutal in that way. It's really made things difficult for us. Is the best way to put it. 1 second to check something here. Okay, we're good. Let's take a look then at what the hell is coming up for this upcoming season. You guys have potentially 2 first-round picks this year. Depends on what happens with the Thunder, which means you could have 3 to 4 first-round picks next year. And I have the Clippers first rounder that's lottery protected, so it might get bumped down to next year. I feel like the first-round picks have been dealt less consistently. My team is mid as all hell. That is the only way to put it. My team is mid. I don't think I have a single player that I need to drop down to a lower league. We are just mid. All right, if I drop Jeffries to the G League and then rock an 8-man bench. Got to Ashley Turner being my new coach. I got a 74 overall point. My team is so fucking mid. Jesus, this team is bad. What the hell happened? Chat's team is looking better, though. Chat's team is looking better. You know, the big question is, will it be a good enough team to win? But you have a lot of depth across the board, which is nice. Which kind of leaves you with that decision of how many dudes do you play? You know? How many guys do you worry about? You could go with the full bench to get everyone some playing time, or you stick with about a 9-man bench to just make sure the best players are there. You got the option. Gordon Sampson should go down to the G League, though. He will not be playing that much. Nick Roberts, the old gifted sub. Nick, thank you for that. Thank you. Get JD shouting out the full bench. Let's see what happens. Let's do it. And then we get the yield trading block. For chat, you're best to get rid of Glenn Washington if you can, because you got Percy Barber behind him. At forward, you're best to get rid of Griffith and Leonard if you can, because they're not going to be able to fully develop. At power forward, best to get rid of Nick Cannon, because Robertson and Sampson will be ahead of him. And then at center, you're fine. Pretty straightforward. Cummings shouldn't go anywhere. Moore shouldn't go anywhere. Swift shouldn't go anywhere. Robertson shouldn't go anywhere. Nor should Daryl Patrick. You guys are set up pretty well. I'm honestly hoping that you win. At this stage, I just have to hope for it. Tugay Azek gets pretty badly overpaid, but who the hell else am I going to overpay at this point? Mozone, what's going on? How are ya? God, my team sucks. I'm going to try to get rid of Gabe Watson. Never want to hear the name Swift again after last weekend. Fair. Honestly, if I can get rid of Lee Barry Carroll, I should. If I can get rid of Azette, I should. I mean, Ramsey and Mullins aren't that bad, but if I can get rid of Mullins, I should. And can leave it at that. Rough scenes for the boys here. God, let this be the season where it ends. Please let chat just go off and end this. As I get a trade off for the big man Mitch Cooper Dyke, 24 years old, B+ at an 82, for the older veteran Juan Munoz, but a first-round pick from the Knicks. I'm going to take this, given what Cooper Dyke is going to ask for once his contract is up. He's going to look for way too much money. He's a really good interior defender, but he has no top-notch athleticism. His inside scoring is not great either. He does have a decent shot as a big man, but I'm just not feeling it. I'd rather cash out. I think I'd rather cash out. So yeah, Mitch Cooper-Dyke, there's no point. Like, I'd have to pay him. And it's going to be so freaking expensive, so let's just take the deal. I don't want to do it, but there you go. Mitch Cooper-Dyke dealt off of this team, and I'll immediately put Munoz onto the block to replace him. So I trade my big man within a couple of games. As I get another trade offer. Lamont Ramsey and Tugay Azette for Clint Wells and Karan Roberts. Clint Wells is 26 and Karan Roberts is 30. So no. Get out of here. Tom will do. What'd you get? Ooh. It'll be a good one for Easter. Wear it to Easter dinner. How many kids does Nick Cannon have? Yes. That's the correct answer to how many kids does Nick Cannon have? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. I don't know why my webcam looks out of line. Yeah, it's a little bit better. All right. $48 on side one. Ooh, not bad. Nick Cannon has all the kids. He does. He does. What was the official count, by the way? Was it 12? How many kids does Nick Cannon have? I like that. How many kids does Nick Cannon have now is the final count. Indeed, the answer is 12. So, good on you, Nick Cannon. You irresponsible dick. Literally. Let's see. For you guys, Percy Barber. I mean, 23. I mean, you want to get rid of Washington more than Barber, although getting rid of Griffith wouldn't be the worst because he's not going to develop for you. But it's just two dudes who aren't going to be worth it at all. Unless Iancu Bushka is good, and he's not. Sorry to Mr. Iancu. Iancu Bushka. Chat with a winning record right now. I am hoping and praying that you win in this era. Hoping and praying. Please. As I get a trade offer for the legend, Tugay Azette. Involves 25-year-old Theo Perkins. And a second-round pick. I'm not trading Tugay for anything less than a first. Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. Crash, take your time. I don't even know how many seasons we're simming tonight. And let's be honest, if Nashville wins a title this year, we're calling the victory for Crash Andrews. As you guys do get a trade offer for Washington. For 25-year-old point guard Raymond Westbrook. 82 overall. 80-82. He's not making much money. That's a no-brainer. Get you a better point guard behind Dell Cummings for the season. Gets rid of Washington and moves Barber into that secondary role. That's a no-brainer. You guys would be dumb not to say yes. You're taking that trade. You would be dumb not to take that trade. Yeah, he's your new sixth man right now. That's... You guys might be able to pull this off. You might. I hope this is the year. Jesus, let this be the year. I am actively rooting for chat to win this challenge now. At least this era. Which means we'll have to go to the WNBA run to see if you guys can force a game 7, so to speak. Gordon Sampson, 21 A- power forward. For Adrian Griffin, 21 C+ power forward. So obviously trading Sampson's a little bit scary, but you have Edgar Robinson. So yeah, you give up a decent prospect, but you get another decent player back who is more of a bench guy, but it gives that time to Robertson and Cannon, and you get a future-proofing first-round pick. Like, you're not playing Sampson as a starter, so the odds that he develops are slim. Look at his grades. He can rebound, and that's about it. He is literally just all potential. He's got not much else going for him at this stage. I've only seen one person say no deal at this stage. Chat wins the WNBA portion to a mega sim from the 70s to modern with a cutoff of 2023 who ends up winning the most championships. That would take a long time, but it's not a bad idea. Honestly, I don't think this is a bad deal for you guys. Cash out on Samson. Griffith is a solid option, and he's better right now. Not much at scoring, but you get a first-round pick, too. Going once. Going twice. Sold. The Lakers would be over the cap, so there's an exception in there, but there you go. There you go. Honestly, I mean, again, you guys are still future-proofing with first-round picks. You get better now. You get better depth. Long-term, you get better depth. You don't have to worry about trying to develop Samson. That said, you're at around 500 right now. It wouldn't be the worst idea to shorten the bench. Would not be the worst idea to shorten the bench, and you'll be able to send somebody else to the G League. Yeah, right now, even to a 10. You know what? Even a 9 might be better. Yeah, 34 minutes a night for more is a good idea. So that will bring Darren Leonard. Makes the most sense for it to be him. Get him down to the G League, and you guys are still looking good. My team is 4-24 on the season. Jesus. Yardbird, what's going on? What's going on? I mean, again, the whole thing of flipping Samson now, it's like, that first round pick could be a better prospect down the road, and it's not like the guy also involved in the deal was bad. So, trade offer for me is Scott Mayo, Cecil Farrell, who's 34, for Donald Douglas and Ronald Jeffries. Mayo's 23, 76, and a B+. 20, 76, and a C+. Mayo could be better long-term, but to be honest, I'm going to take that. I'll try to invest in Ronald Jeffries. Then again, Donald Douglas's contract sucks. I'm going to say no to it for that reason. How are the Millbury Stars? Second in the NBA. Please tell me. Like, genuinely, we'll have to make a decision if the Nashville Stars win this title to just say, okay, we both lost. We will have to make that decision to just be like, all right, we both lost. GG's. Even if it wasn't like a crash-led team, so to speak, it's still the most recent expansion team, which we had a multi-year lead on winning a title before we do. That would be a disaster. You guys get a trade offer. Raymond Westbrook for Del Taylor. 26-year-old center. He's making $30 million, though. He's not worth it at an 82. Has the max 3-year contract length hurt? I mean, not a ton so far, but it also hasn't been around long enough for us to see the full result. 22-year-old, 78 overall, B- Lamont Ramsey. For 24, 78, Ronnie Cole, but a first-round pick. I don't think Lamont Ramsey is that bad. Ronnie Cole, though, was making a shitload of money. He's a very good scorer, like a very good post player, but I would have to pretty much immediately flip him. And that's just not worth the attempt for me. So I'm going to say no to that. Please, God, let Crash. If the Stars win this year, we absolutely both lose. Okay, well, let's hope it's another victory for Crash Andrews then, huh? Let's hope. Can only hope and pray, because my team's going nowhere. I've tried a variety of different things. We're a year away, by the way, from both of us getting a nuke back. That's if we make it that far. You guys get an offer for Leonard. It's a center named Carl Carroll, who, I mean, would be better than Darren Leonard. It's depth in a different position you don't necessarily need. Second round pick. I mean, yeah, you might as well hold on to Leonard, but this isn't going to, in fairness, this isn't going to be a guy that you hold on to long term. He's in the G League right now. Me personally, I'd take it, but chat's saying no. I would have taken it just for the second round pick. I think that has the chance to be more valuable. We had a long era in last year's game. This might start pushing that. 23 and a B plus for Scott Mayo. 26-year-old Grant Hopkins. Brett Miller. That's going to be a no. That's going to be a no. My team is absolutely dreadful. Holy God. Put me out of my misery. Just take me out behind the barn and fucking shoot me. The old Buska. Jeff Mullins isn't that bad. I have Ramsey in the same spot. Munoz dude got hurt. There's Mac Jeffries. Honestly, Janko Buska might develop better for me. I'm going to take the big-ass Romanian in a second-round pick for Jeff Mullins. Welcome in the Buska. See if he can develop due to injury. My team sucks. Oh, man. You guys get another trade offer for Westbrook. It's a dude named Victor Stevenson who gets paid way too much goddamn money. And an old man in Jaden Ivory. So definitely not worth it. You guys get another offer. This one for Colin Griffith. Him in a second. For the big center, Andy Bush. Once upon a time, you guys did not draft. 78 overall, 23 years old, and an A-. Hello, Mr. Nuge Television. Honestly, you maybe probably take this. I mean, Bush is a year older. He's a little bit worse. His potential's slightly better. It's not necessarily the move that you need to make. But Griffith at small forward is behind Swift and Webster. Shout out to Ripley, by the way. Thank you for the 11 months. Honestly, I think you guys should probably take this. You got the depth at shooting guard. And Andy Bush could end up being the best big man on your team. You could look to move on from Alan Payton, who's not really going to make it. And try to cash out on one. Really, you could put all three centers on the block and see what you can get. But chat does elect to take it. Yeah, genuinely. I mean, now you can just put all three centers on the block and see if you can get a good deal for any of them. Even Patrick, see what you can get. You might as well. There's not too much time left, though, before the trade deadline. You guys do have a decent little record. That is playoff pace right there. And you beat Crash Andrews' Nashville Stars. So. And indeed, it's trade deadline day. So, in terms of upcoming contracts, Chat's Lions have absolutely nothing to worry about in terms of not having control. I knew Gabe Watson was leaving at the end of the year. Okay. Well, Chat, you have a chance to win. I'm still absolutely boned. And Crash Andrews, last we knew, his Nashville Stars still have a tremendous chance of winning. So, we will see what happens, won't we? We'll see. So, we'll see what's up. Please win this chat. Please. The nuke's around the corner. Yeah, but neither of us are really in a position to use the nuke. And when it comes to 3-year contracts now being the max, I mean, it kind of loses the power of the nuke to get out from underneath the bad contracts because they're not even that bad because they never last that long. So, yeah, I don't even know, man. I don't even know. 40 wins for the Chat's Lions. Let this be the year. By God, let this be the year. Put me out of my misery. I'm begging you. Chat, I am daring you to win this era. Please. Please, God, just win. Just win. It has to happen. I am begging you to make it absolutely worth as opposed to just mostly. I am begging you to make it absolutely worth doing a WNBA run. Maybe not in the immediate future because hockey's right around the corner, but we shall see. So, I kind of said the same thing about the Bedard pass. It's a good play, but, you know. Hey, Joe, what's up? Is cheating allowed? Let's be honest, that might be the only way that either one of us wins. Victor Wembanyama at 18 points a game wins league MVP. The fuck? He is now a 4-time MVP winner. Finals MVP in 2036, a 14-time All-Star. He just won MVP at 18, 10, and 4. The league is ruined. Derek Webster wins Rookie of the Year. Sar Thompson of the Nashville Stars wins Sixth Man of the Year. Rock Zagorak, Defensive Player of the Year. Most Improved, Robert West. Clutch Player of the Year, Nick Smith Jr. Coach of the Year and Executive of the Year. First team All-NBA is Wembanyama. Javon Peters. Didn't do shit for me. Dylan Adams, Scoot Henderson, and Homer Romero. The all-defensive team is Zagorak, Vugrenik, Gabe Watson, Calvert Morris, and Freddie Stokes. And the all-rookie team features my Scott Mayo and Chat's Donovan Webster. Enjoying Beam. Fair enough. Fair enough. Chat has made the playoffs as the 4 seed. Crash Andrews' Nashville Stars are in as the 3 seed. And presumably, I was the worst team in the NBA. I absolutely was, with just 13 wins. So I'm not even on the fucking racetrack. I'm lost in traffic. Well, it's a 2-horse race between the two of you guys. Please, somebody. Somebody. Unfortunately for you guys, your point guard, Dell Cummings, is out with a broken leg. Well, it's all up to Crash Andrews. It's all up to Crash Andrews. Good things you got traded for Westbrook. I was led by Lamond Ramsey this year. Munoz averaged a double-double. Good to know. We'll see what you guys can do. That's all we can say. We'll see what you guys can do. It is a good thing, though, that you traded for Westbrook. It's Westbrook, Moore, Swift, Robertson, and Bush. It's not a bad starting 5 with Webster and Barber off the bench, and obviously like Cannon, Payton. Those guys could still end up playing. It's still not a bad team. It'd be that much better if your point guard didn't get hurt, though. It would be that much better. Do we care what the Pistons and the Hawks look like at this point? I don't think we do. I think we just continue the trend of sim through the first round, and really we don't end up caring until the conference finals. So let's see what happens. Chat against the Pistons and Crash's team against the Atlanta Hawks in the 2039 playoffs. Come on now. Chat is eliminated, but Crash moves on, eliminating the Hawks in 7 as Chat gets bounced in round 1 by the Pistons in 6 games. Come on, Nashville. Beat Miami. Come on, Nashville. It won't end. This era, this fucking modern era, will not end. Just won't end. Why won't it end? We keep going. We keep going. It just won't end. The 76ers and the Portland Trailblazers in the final. And the Portland Trailblazers have won the NBA title in 2039. Fuck. We march, we move. In terms of player retirements, Jesus Christ, LaMelo Ball and Darius Garland are retiring now. Josh Giddey. Gone as a 30. Jalen Duren, who you guys took in the expansion draft as a 19-year-old, has retired. This might never end. This seriously might never end. Eamon Thompson has retired. Chet Holmgren is gone. Kobe Boofkin. Jesus. Hall of Fame, Jesus Christ. LaMelo Ball, Darius Garland, Josh Giddey, Eamon Thompson, and Scotty Barnes have all made the Hall of Fame. I don't think I've ever seen, certainly not this year, have I seen 5 inductees in the same class. LaMelo had his number retired in Charlotte and Golden State. He was only a Warrior for 6 years, and they retired his number. Oh, my God. Franz Wagner, the Wagner, had his number retired by the Chicago Bulls. What the fuck? In terms of the league meetings, no new rules this year. Good to know. So we head to the draft lottery. I have the top odds, or one of the 3 teams at the top odds. Crash's Stars are there with the 9th best odds, thanks to Nollins. The winner of the 2039 draft lottery. To the draft we go. 2039 NBA draft. Yeah, I mean, I could just, yeah, it could be this. It could just be this for the rest of the night. You know, wait, Crash said he was almost home. I am not waiting. I told him the rules were he's either here or he's not. I told him those were the rules. I wait for nobody. We go to the draft. I have the 4th overall pick, and I will not be trading it. Okay, please, God, let someone like Dan Blair be good. Criminy. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. I need like a surefire Hall of Famer here, please. Starter All-Star. Couple All-NBA to benches. Shout out to Dakulas Niniadis? Who the hell even knows? A couple All-Star starters. That's not too bad. God, give me a Hall of Famer. 4th overall, give me a Hall of Famer. Starter to All-NBA, Leo Whitney. All right. All right. Well, in terms of the highest rating, I mean, it was these 2. Sparks was a starter all-star. Dan Blair was starter. And then Leo Whitney, the 23-year-old. It scares me that he's 23 years old. It scares me a little bit. Actually, a lot of it. I don't think it's really a situation where it's like, well, what do I need the most? Like, I fucking need everything. I mean, I do have a forward and a power. God, I need everything. I need the best player I can get. I need the best player I can get for that reason. For that reason, it's got to be Leo Whitney. He looks like the best player of the bunch. Gonna go for the risk. Even though Dan Blair... I mean, but Dan Blair, 19 years old, a B-. Even if his potential isn't that great, he has a chance to get better. You know? Come on down, Big Dan. Screw it. We're going for Big Dan. Florida State, Big Dan. Come on down, Big Dan. St. Louis Sound back on the board at 18. The question is... Well, that would be a trade worth taking. A 2-for-1 from the Sixers, even though the Sixers are normally championship contenders. good's Percy Shelton? How good is Percy Shelton? Not very. 2 future first-round picks from the Hawks. Dude by the name of Jimmy Hickson, who's not that bad, but I did just draft a center. Gordon Sampson, who you guys traded away, but to be honest, I don't really want him. 2 future first-round picks. Not a bad idea. Especially those protected picks from the Denver Nuggets. The problem is I do think... Oh, man. See, the problem is, like, I do think there is still going to be a couple of good players left in this draft. But you never know if those other picks could be future first-rounders. Or future, you know, like top 10, top 5, in which I'm likely to get better players. I'm going to opt out. Go for the future picks with the Nuggets. That means the chat is up. At pick number 20, you're going to have to make the pick. Again, we already know best available is the way to go. Hall of Fame bench, Freddie Gilliard. Hall of Fame bench, Freddie Gilliard. Starter All-Star, Will Rose. So starter All-Star, Will Rose. Henrik Sundin. I mean, starter's not bad. Well, the 2 best players in this draft that you could go for. You could shoot your shot for the point guard, Freddie Gilliard. Or it's Will Rose, who has the best comparisons at 20 years old. Again, your team's well-rounded enough. Right now, it's literally just best available player. It's best available player at this stage. So you go for Will Rose, who appears to be that, or you go for the shot of Freddie Gilliard. Chat's going to go for Rose. I think that's a smart move. Best player available. Always the best decision. You can move other people out. You can move him out if it turns out he's not as good as the other options. The Rockets trade their pick for a dude that we won't even know at this point. That's why I skipped it. Lions back on the board at number 30. And Gilliard's still there. So it could yet again be Gilliard to go for it. There's nobody right now that's not a shot in the dark, so you might as well go with the guy who might have the highest ceiling in Freddie Gilliard. So there you go. You ended up with them both, chat. Gil Pickle. I'm back on the board here with a 2nd round pick. Starter bench. Well, that's all NBA bench, Jacob Mason. All right, the big man, Jacob Mason. Welcome to St. Louis. And that is the end of the draft. In terms of rating, I did pretty well. It won't turn into anything for me, but I did pretty well. Not bad. We'll see what the potential happens to be. We'll start off with Chat's Lions. Freddie Gilliard was bench to Hall of Fame, 2171 C+. He's not making that much money, so you might as well keep him as a depth player. But yeah, he's not amazing. What about Will Rose, who also won't be making that much money? You might as well just sign them both and try to trade them. The 20-year-old, 75 overall, B-. That's not bad. You got some depth. You didn't get like this major difference maker out of the gates. Jacob Mason. Not bad for a late 2nd round pick. And then here we go. Dan Blair. Expensive, but worth it. 19 years old, 80 overall, and a B. It's one of my best high picks in a long time. If not ever. Good Lord. Good Lord. There are a whole lot of options at this stage. A whole lot of options. Damn. We're going to have to put some thought into how the teams get set up from here, but we'll see what happens.